Let's have a look at UP, the big state of UP, 80 seats. This makes or breaks any Prime Minister. 51. In the last poll we said 53, it's 51, but that's still up 41 since the last elections. Samajwadi Party now coming second at 14, down 9 since last time. The BSP 10, down 10 since last time, and the Congress coming fourth with 5, down 21. It did remarkably well in the last elections. In fact, it has more seats than anybody else.
This includes their allies, RLD, this
RLD,
time, who won
yes,
their allies
Congress
last
plus.
time, so
includes
some
Rajnath Singh.
place.
Correct. Let's have the vote percentage in Uttar Pradesh. The BJP leading with, we have 38% of the vote. That's a swing of 21% in its favor. Samajwadi Party quite far behind at 22. The BSP at 20. And the Congress at 10. Now, this is a difficult state to forecast. So what we've done very differently this time is that we've chosen everybody that we go to by electoral rolls, because otherwise normal pollsters go to a village and then take every 7th house. We've said no, because then they don't really go to many of the BSP voters or the poorest of the poor. But if you take it randomly from the electoral rolls, you have to go deep in. You don't, I think there's a saying that us journalists don't like to go more than 20 miles on either side of a highway. So this, when you go for electoral roll, 20 miles is a lot.
20 miles is a lot. Just find the best dhaba on the highway.
On the highway.
On the highway, yes.
So if you go by electoral rolls, you have to find the person no matter if he's 100 miles from the highway. I don't know if there's anything that's 100 miles from the highway, but so we would hopefully not have underestimated the BSP, which earlier polls tended to do. But
yet the numbers are pretty low. I mean, especially considering the point right in the first program, if you remember the point Sharad Pradhan made from Lucknow,
right,
that disenchantment of Muslim voters with Samajwadi Party and Congress
and BSP because of their
I'm saying he said he would expect BSP to be a beneficiary of that.
But we found in
it's not capturing that somehow. So
we didn't. We've got also the figures again, but we found that the BSP wasn't quite getting the Muslim trust yet.
But I think given the size of the swing, I mean, in the point Mr. Ram made earlier about Tamil Nadu, I mean, when you have 38% as the top party, then next is 22%.
Yeah, you could get
more
more
than looking
that.
at a clean sweep.
Yeah, it's pretty conservative. Now, if you really want to have a messy graphic, let's have a look at it now. Here it comes. Uttar Pradesh trends. This is the kind of graphic only those who make it understand. It's a disgraceful graphic. Okay, here in 2009, Congress 26, Samajwadi Party 23, BSP 20, and BJP the last. That was in the last election. In our February poll, the BJP went up to 40, and then, the rest were around the 15, 13, 12. Then let's go, BJP went up to 53, and the rest around 13 and 7 and 7. But the Congress, you can see, is declining secularly. Sorry, I meant secularly is a long-term, not punning on that.
You keep repeating that mistake.
Oh, do I? Sorry. 51 to the BJP, so it went up to 53 and maintaining more or less that, and that the vote percentage could, if it gets that vote percentage, could be even higher. So 51, 14, 10 and 5 for the Congress. Okay, what does this all add up to nationally? Let's have a look at the national figures, all India figures, and the trends that has happened over the during the campaign. Okay, we're just going to come to that, but before, Uttar Pradesh, 10 seats have already gone. It's in 6 phases, Uttar Pradesh.
Yes.
Do you think things are going to change dramatically? Can anything? I mean, it is the most charged campaign. People are making hate speeches, violent speeches. It's a negative, horrible campaign there. Is that going to affect, polarize the voter more now, do you think? Change things?
Well, looks tough, because I think, and I'll repeat myself, people are voting for a central government. For a lot of people who don't have a strong reason to vote against Modi, now feel persuaded to vote for him, because Congress is not offering an alternative. There is no, everybody is scared of the third front, because we don't know what a third front is or how many third fronts are there. So those who fear Narendra Modi and BJP, or those who have other strong philosophical differences with him, or who have strong loyalties on the other side, particularly the Congress party, only they are not voting for BJP and Narendra Modi. So this has been made into a one-horse race, which means either you vote for, either you give more strength to this horse, or you stop this horse. But nobody is saying, who do you replace this horse with?
Yeah. Let me.
Modi's opponents are not saying this is what we'll do for you.
Very true. Sudhindra, do you believe in that the voters are smart enough to do this tactical voting that not only Muslims but everybody decides where,
just for this part. It's okay.
You know, which is the best person to defeat another, and they all get together? I have my doubts about it, because I find that in our when we go out on the road, nobody really knows who's the second best candidate, and they all don't conglomerate around that. But do you think there is an element of tactical, strategic voting, constituency by constituency?
Pranoy, you know, your opinion poll may well turn out to be true, but nevertheless, I stick my neck out, as I did in the last discussion, that in Uttar Pradesh, the gain for BJP is an overestimate.
Overestimate.
You know, I have spoken to quite a few people in the BJP itself. You know, they are not giving the BJP more than 35-40 seats. Let's understand one thing, that in Uttar Pradesh, after Western UP, the Muslim vote is going to be quite critical.
Yeah.
It may get divided between the Samajwadi Party, Bahujan Samaj Party and the Congress, but the Muslims of UP, as also Muslims elsewhere in the country, are certainly going to vote in a manner that is aimed at defeating the BJP, so that Narendra Modi doesn't become Prime Minister. And this factor cannot be underestimated at all. Secondly, you know, the caste equations in UP will now come into play, and not always in favor of the BJP. Thirdly, the BJP doesn't have any great leaders in UP. It's not a very strong party in UP anymore. And therefore, you know, 51 seats is you know, from 10 to 51 is a very, very big jump, perhaps not called for.
Right.
Yes, right.
I think I would go along with what Sudhin Kulkarni has just said, because I think 51 in UP is clearly an overestimate. And I think this 51 figure underestimates the Muslim and Dalit factor in elections. And UP elections are going on for a whole month. Only 8 seats have gone to the polls. There's still several phases to go. And I do think that tactical voting will come into play, because as far as Muslims are concerned, at the moment there's nothing more important for them than to defeat Modi. And there is no evidence that there is any Muslim vote going to BJP, which means even though the Muslim vote may be divided, but the point is, I think that Mr. Kulkarni was saying was quite right, that it will still go to these 3 parties, which is to say the BSP, the SP and the Congress.
But if it gets divided between them.
If I can add 2 points. You know, go back to the first session that we had about a month ago, right? What's your biggest fear if the Congress gets elected? What's your biggest fear if the BJP gets elected, or Modi gets elected? Yes. Right? Danger of violence. Now, I think the
communal violence.
Communal violence, exactly. I think Amit Shah's hate speeches and you know, has in a way sent a message to the electorate in UP that there could well be trouble. And my sense is that as we get closer to the election, this will backfire, not just in terms of consolidating Muslim votes, but I think even Hindus are going to think twice about this, that yes, we like the talk of development, but if this is going to mean violence, I think this is something that people are going to ask.
So you think that's going to kick in?
I think it will hurt BJP, both in terms of Muslim votes getting polarized against it and also Hindu votes. But the second issue is that candidate selection, choice of candidates in particular seats, BSP, for example, fielding 17 to 19 Brahmin MPs, many of them who won in the past. Unnao, for example, you have Sakshi Maharaj, who is the BJP candidate. Decent or large Brahmin presence in Unnao. Will they vote for Sakshi Maharaj for BJP, or will they stick to the, I think his name is Brajesh Pathak, the former BSP MP? You know, these are difficult choices that voters are going to make. And I think at the end of the day, the closer you get to polling date, less important the factor that, I mean, I think it's there in the back of people's minds, Shekhar, that, you know, so-called Modi factor or central government. I think these other factors begin to...
surely,
I would ask
Pranay,
just one thing, and I'll just come. A point that Siddhartha had raised earlier. If it's 38%, it could be more than 51 seats. If 51 is an exaggeration, it really means 38 is an exaggeration.
Absolutely.
So are you saying that it's how much? What's the sample size there? It's a pretty big sample size in Uttar Pradesh. So if people are not telling the truth, that's possible and that happens. You know?
But in terms of votes, it's an increase of 17% from the last
elections.
So
elections.
Elections, yeah.
It's just, you know, it is, you know, it does go up. I mean, it has.
No, but you know, the point that was just made, which is that Amit Shah has squared the pitch for Hindu consolidation, but equally it has encouraged, obviously, a counter consolidation by Muslims.
Let me say something, you know, I don't have the right to say so on behalf of, say, Indian Muslims.
Right.
If I was a Muslim in UP, I will feel completely used by both groups. It's as if BJP and Congress and SP want to fight this battle to the last Muslim. The BJP is doing nothing to give the Muslims any reassurance. There's not even one word from anybody. On the other hand, you have hate speeches, Amit Shah being an example. But look at, on the other hand, what has Azam Khan done? Azam Khan's now pitched Muslims into a situation of confrontation with Hindus of the Indian army. It's never been done before, right? So I think we're putting too much burden on India's Muslims. You know, everybody who doesn't like Modi says Muslims have to save India from Modi. They're only 15% of India. So I think we have to give our minorities a break. We have to build, I mean, if you want to fight Modi, you have to build a proper politics. You cannot just say Muslims, all of you unite. In fact, this will have the effect of increasing the schism in Indian society.
Yeah, but
okay, I just want to get to the all India picture. And
because India, I'll take one more second. India is a secular country, not because its minorities want it to be a secular country. It's a secular country because its majority wants it to be a secular country.
Okay.